Hi, I'm Dr. Rhoberta Shaler, the Relationship Help Doctor. And many people like to argue, or at least it seems they like to argue. They almost seem to get a kick out of it. And then some people really enjoy hurling insults, and they call it humor. Have you noticed that? Sarcasm is one of the lowest forms of anger. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but it is. It's a way of taking pot shots without really being caught, without really being exposed. Because if you take a pot shot at someone or make a sarcastic remark and the person says, ouch, many people who are sarcastic say, oh, I didn't mean that, I was just kidding, or you have a thin skin. And they get away with it, or they think they do, but they don't realize they're eroding the relationship. So are you looking for a fight, or are you trying to set things right? When you're arguing with your partner, or when you find that there is the same argument over and over about the same thing, or when you just seem to be picking at each other all the time, you never seem to be receptive, you always seem to be kind of pushing each other away, you have to ask yourself that question, because it's within you to choose whether you're going to fight or you're going to stop it. You ask yourself that question, am I looking for a fight, or do I want to set things right? It's not about the other person, it's about you. What do you want? How are you going to behave? If you were here in Escondido, California in my office, you'd see written on the wall of my consulting room in 1-foot-high letters, big gold letters, it says the most important thing I can teach anybody. And it says, the truth is what you do. The truth is what you do. You demonstrate your beliefs by your behaviors. In fact, your behavior is your belief. And when people's words and their actions don't match, always believe their actions. And I know that's hard. I look back and I think of a woman who came in to see me. She came often, and she came in this particular day, big mark across her face. I said, what happened? She said, my husband hit me with a hairbrush. I said, oh. So what was going on? And she told me, and I said, well, that doesn't seem like he loves you. And she said, oh, yes, he does. Oh, yes, he does. I said, how can you look in the mirror, see this big mark, and say your husband loves you? He said, well, he brought me flowers and told me he loved me 3 weeks ago. I said, and yesterday he hit you with a hairbrush. Do you really think that means he loves you? Believe the behavior. We like to believe the words because then we don't have to do anything. But let's get back to our part in the fight. We can withdraw at any time. I teach a lot of anger management classes here, and it's always a surprise to people to realize that anger is both a habit and a choice. You don't have to go there. You have more control over yourself than that, and if you don't, you can get it. It's very important to understand how much control you have. And you do not have to be throwing out one-liners and blindsiding people. And you don't have to make sarcastic remarks. And you don't have to jump in when someone else does. You're in charge of that. So are you looking for a fight, or are you trying to make things right? I was doing a video series not long ago with John Gray, and it was moderated by Charles Orlando. We were talking about this very thing, and Charles said, oh, well, for my wife and I, we have a rule. There's only one crazy person allowed at a time. So if one person's going off like a Roman candle, the other one can't. So there's a good rule. Don't join in. It's not that you want to ignore them or make them feel left out there with all their feelings hanging out, but don't join in. Say, what can I do? How can I help you? Or, I don't think I have any part in this. But don't go looking for a fight. Because if you are, it's probably masking issues that really need your attention when neither of you are angry. It's so easy to fall into old patterns of arguing, just like you perhaps did with your siblings or with your parents or whatever. And it becomes a habit, just like anger becomes a habit. So it's worthwhile finding out how not to do that. I'm sure you'd agree. It takes a whole lot of energy, and you don't feel great afterwards. So many times people come to the anger management class and I say, why are you coming? Some of them, of course, are sent here by the court, but why are you coming? And the most frequent answer I hear is, I don't like myself after I get angry. I'm not happy with myself. Well, that's good because you can change. And if you have gotten into a habit in your relationship of fighting with each other, bickering, taking pot shots, then know that you can change. One person can change. Both people ideally can change. All you need is a little bit of information and some good relationship help to do that. I have a little ebook that you might want to read, which are the 10 absolute essentials to keep anger from managing you. You can see that on at my website under the shop navigation tool. So think about it. Are you looking for a fight, or are you trying to make things right? Which direction are you going in your relationship most of the time? I look forward to talking to you soon.